Welcome to Mystery Chronicles, where we dive deep into some of the most intriguing and mysterious stories from around the world. Please like, comment, and subscribe. The year was 1912. A world on the cusp of change gazed in awe at a marvel of engineering. A giant of the seas, the RMS Titanic. She was more than a ship. She was a statement, a symbol of human ingenuity, a testament to our ambition and our dreams. Towering over the docks of Southampton, she was a floating city, a microcosm of society, carrying within her steel hull the hopes and aspirations of over 2,200 souls. The air crackled with anticipation. Excitement rippled through the crowds gathered to witness her maiden voyage. The world held its breath, captivated by her grandeur. The Titanic, they said, was unsinkable, an invincible titan gliding across the waves, destined for greatness. Aboard her decks, a tapestry of humanity converged. From the wealthy elite ensconced in their luxurious cabins to the immigrants in steerage, all were united in this journey towards a new life, a new dawn. The first-class passengers, the creme de la creme of society, reveled in opulence. Champagne flowed freely. Laughter echoed through the lavishly decorated dining saloons. The strains of a live orchestra filled the air, a waltz of optimism and joy. In the dimly lit, cramped quarters of steerage, hope flickered amidst the uncertainty. Families huddled together, sharing stories, dreams, and fears. They were leaving behind everything they knew, venturing into the unknown, their futures uncertain, their hearts filled with a mixture of trepidation and excitement. The Titanic, a beacon of hope and ambition, embarked on her maiden voyage. Her massive engines roared to life, their vibrations felt throughout the ship, a mechanical heartbeat propelling them towards the vast expanse of the Atlantic. The crowds cheered, waving their farewells as the behemoth slowly pulled away from the dock, her departure marking the beginning of an epic journey, a journey etched in history. Little did they know, this voyage of dreams would soon transform into a nightmare, a stark reminder of the unforgiving power of the sea. The Titanic sliced through the icy waters of the Atlantic, her powerful engines a symphony of power and precision. On deck, passengers marveled at the endless expanse of the sea, the sun glinting off the waves like a million scattered diamonds. The world seemed to fall away, replaced by the rhythmic lull of the waves and the salty tang of the sea air. Days melted into a blur of leisurely routines. First-class passengers indulged in lavish meals, attended elegant soirees, and strolled along the promenade deck. Their conversations a mix of business deals, gossip, and dreams for the future. Below deck, in the more modest surroundings of second and third class, new friendships blossomed. Families shared meals, played games, and told stories, their laughter echoing through the labyrinthine corridors. But even amidst the grandeur and gaiety, a sense of unease lingered. The wireless operators, hunched over their equipment in the cramped Marconi room, received a series of increasingly urgent messages from other ships in the area, reports of icebergs, warnings of treacherous conditions ahead. These messages, however, were relayed to the bridge with casual indifference. Their significance lost in the hubris of the moment. The Titanic, they believed, was unsinkable. Her double-hull design, her watertight compartments, were a testament to human ingenuity. What danger could a few chunks of ice pose to a vessel such as this? The warnings were dismissed as mere inconveniences. The dance of luxury and laughter continued, oblivious to the silent predator lurking beneath the surface, waiting to shatter their dreams and rewrite their destinies. Captain Edward John Smith, a seasoned veteran, stood on the bridge, his gaze fixed on the horizon. Confidence emanated from him, perhaps bordering on overconfidence. The Titanic was his crowning glory. The sea, however, is a fickle mistress. Warnings from other ships were becoming more frequent. Yet, the Titanic steamed on. The night of April 14th descended. The stars blazed brightly overhead. Inside, the atmosphere remained one of merriment. The Titanic, they believed, was unsinkable, a fatal illusion soon to be shattered. The lookouts perched high above the deck in the crow's nest strained their eyes against the darkness. The cold was biting, numbing their fingers and faces. Suddenly, a shape emerged from the gloom, a ghostly silhouette against the starlit sky. An iceberg, massive and menacing, loomed directly in the Titanic's path. "Iceberg! Right ahead," the lookout shouted, his voice tight with alarm. The warning echoed across the bridge, shattering the illusion of invincibility that had enveloped the ship. The calm facade of the bridge crew evaporated, replaced by a flurry of activity as orders were barked. Alarm sounded, and the engines roared in reverse. Frantically, they tried to steer the ship clear of the impending danger, but it was too late. Time seemed to slow down as the massive iceberg drew closer, its icy breath chilling the air. The impact, when it came, was more a shudder than a crash, a sickening crunch of metal against ice, a sound that would forever be etched in the memories of those who survived. The illusion of unsinkability shattered. The Titanic, once a symbol of human ambition and ingenuity, was now mortally wounded. Her fate sealed by a single, fateful encounter with the unforgiving power of nature. The whispers of ice, once ignored and dismissed, now echoed through the ship, a chilling harbinger of the chaos and despair that were to come. The initial impact was subtle, a tremor that ran through the ship's steel bones, a shudder, a groan, a sense of something immense but not quite understood. On the upper decks, some passengers felt it, a slight vibration underfoot. Down in the bowels, the stokers felt a jarring through the metal grating. But then a hush fell. An unsettling quiet replaced the rhythmic thrum of the engines. The silence was more unnerving than any crash. In the first-class dining saloon, conversations sputtered. A waiter froze mid-pour, the surface of the golden liquid trembling. On the bridge, Captain Smith received the chilling report. The Titanic was taking on water. The unsinkable ship was sinking. Down in steerage, families huddled closer. The lullaby of the sea now held a note of menace. The silence was deceptive, a brief interlude. The iceberg had dealt its blow, and the Titanic was slowly succumbing. The sea was about to become a stage for a tragedy. In the face of disaster, human nature clings to order, to the illusion of control. Captain Smith, pale but composed, issued orders with forced calmness. He needed to assess the damage, to understand the breach. He needed to reassure his crew amidst growing uncertainty. Below decks, watertight doors slammed shut, a stark reminder of danger. Engineers rushed to contain the flooding. The ship, designed to withstand catastrophe, was in a desperate battle. The Titanic, for all its grandeur, had a fatal flaw of human judgment. The lifeboats fell tragically short of accommodating all souls on board. The unimaginable had become reality, a testament to human fallibility. Still, the illusion of control persisted. Passengers were reassured that the situation was under control. The band played on, a fragile counterpoint to the growing dread. A shift in the air, a subtle tilt, a whisper of ice chilled the soul. As the reality of the situation began to dawn, the whispers of concern escalated into a chorus of panic. The once orderly decks of the Titanic transformed into a scene of chaos and confusion. Families, separated by the rigid social hierarchy of the ship, frantically searched for one another, their cries echoing through the increasingly tilted corridors. The lifeboats, once symbols of safety and reassurance, were now objects of desperate hope and frantic competition. The women and children first protocol, a testament to chivalry in the face of disaster, was both a blessing and a curse, separating families and leaving men to grapple with the agonizing choice of survival or sacrifice. The cries of mothers separated from their children, the prayers of husbands bidding farewell to their wives, pierced the night air, their anguish swallowed by the vast indifference of the sea. The band, in a final act of defiance against the encroaching chaos, continued to play. Their music, once a soundtrack to dreams and aspirations, now served as a mournful requiem, a somber counterpoint to the cries of terror and the chill and hiss of escaping steam. The air, heavy with the scent of salt and fear, crackled with a strange energy, a mixture of panic and disbelief. The Titanic, once a beacon of hope and luxury, was now a stage for a tragedy of unimaginable proportions. The dream of those aboard, so full of promise, just hours earlier, were now sinking beneath the waves, along with the ship that had once carried them. The sea, so captivating in its vastness and beauty, was now a relentless force, claiming lives and shattering dreams with equal indifference. Whispers of concern escalated into a chorus of panic. The once orderly decks transformed into chaos. Families frantically searched for one another. Lifeboats became objects of desperate hope. The band continued to play, their music a mournful requiem. The Titanic, once a beacon of hope, was now a stage for unimaginable tragedy. The unsinkable ship was sinking, and the realization of this horrifying truth struck with the force of a physical blow. On the upper decks, the once festive atmosphere evaporated, replaced by a chilling blend of panic and disbelief. The lifeboats, now being lowered into the dark, choppy waters, offered a terrifying glimpse into the abyss that awaited those left behind. In the bowels of the ship, the stokers and firemen labored tirelessly in the stifling heat, their faces streaked with sweat and coal dust. Their bodies weary from the Herculean task of keeping the pumps running and the lights flickering. They knew the risks, understood the sacrifice they were making, yet they continued to toil. Their actions a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit in the face of overwhelming odds. The cries of terror from the upper decks reached them as a muffled echo, a constant reminder of the chaos unfolding above. Down here, in the heart of the dying giant, there was only the rhythmic clang of metal, the hiss of steam, and the grim determination to fight for every last breath, to buy precious time for those fortunate enough to escape the sinking ship. They were the unsung heroes of the Titanic, their sacrifice largely forgotten in the annals of history. Yet, in those dark and desperate hours, their courage shone brightly, a beacon of hope amidst the encroaching darkness. They were the heart and soul of the ship, and their sacrifice would forever be etched in the memory of the sea. Captain Smith, his face etched with responsibility, issued orders, his voice steady amidst panic. Wireless operators sent desperate pleas for help. The Carpathia raced towards them, but time was scarce. Amidst chaos, acts of heroism shone brightly. The human spirit flickered brightly, a testament to courage and love. The Titanic, her lights blazing defiance, sank lower with each moment. The sea, unforgiving, claimed its victims, leaving behind a legacy of tragedy. The stars twinkled indifferently overhead as the sea swallowed the wreckage, a world forever changed. The Titanic, a marvel of engineering, exuded invincibility. Yet beneath the luxury lay a fatal flaw of human hubris. Her story, a cautionary tale, reminds us of the perils of pride and the enduring power of the sea. Deep within the Titanic, the engine room roared with life. Stokers, the unsung heroes, toiled in darkness, their labor essential to the ship's journey. Their world, a dimly lit labyrinth, was the lifeblood of the Titanic. Below decks, immigrants huddled together, their hopes riding on the Titanic. Despite cramped conditions, a sense of community thrived. The ship became a microcosm of humanity, where hope and despair coexisted. The Titanic's and watertight compartments, symbols of safety, became cruel traps. The corridors, once bustling, echoed with fear as the ship succumbed to the sea. The Titanic, a symbol of human ambition, and was humbled by nature's power. The Titanic's grandeur lulled passengers into a false sense of safety. The steel that once reassured now symbolized their vulnerability. The illusion of safety shattered. The ship became a tomb, a chilling reminder of the sea's power. Augusta Serre clung to her sons, securing a place in a lifeboat. She promised to honor their courage and the memory of those lost. Her love and determination shone amidst the tragedy. Isidor Strauss stood with his wife Ida, refusing to leave her side. Their love, stronger than fear, transcended the chaos. They faced the end together, a poignant reminder of unbreakable bonds. A young couple, newlyweds, danced amidst the chaos. Their love, a beacon of hope, defied the encroaching darkness. As the Titanic sank, their love endured, a testament to the human heart. Amidst the chaos, the band played on, their music a source of comfort. They faced their fate with courage and dignity. Their final notes, a haunting melody, echoed through history, a testament to the human spirit. In the depths of steerage, where the air was thick with the smell of fear and the sound of prayers, a priest moved among the huddled masses, his voice a beacon of hope in the encroaching darkness. He spoke of faith, of courage, of the promise of a life beyond this earthly realm. He offered absolution, his words washing over the terrified faces like a balm, a reminder that even in the face of death, there was hope for redemption. He heard confessions, whispered prayers, and offered blessings. His presence, a source of comfort and strength for those facing their mortality. He spoke of God's love, of the promise of heaven, his words a lifeline for those struggling to stay afloat in a sea of despair. He baptized infants, their tiny bodies held aloft in the dim light, their cries a poignant counterpoint to the prayers of their parents. He anointed the sick and the dying, his touch a gesture of compassion, his words a source of solace. And as the Titanic slipped beneath the waves, the priest continued to pray, his voice a whisper of faith amidst the roar of the sea, a testament to the enduring power of belief in the face of unimaginable tragedy. The sea, now calm and eerily silent, held its secrets close. Beneath the surface, the wreckage of the Titanic lay in silent repose, a tomb for the dreams and aspirations of those who had perished on that fateful night. Fish darted in and out of the shattered windows of the grand ballroom, their scales shimmering like a million tiny stars. A child's doll, its porcelain face frozen in a perpetual smile, lay half buried in the silt, a poignant reminder of the innocence lost. A leather-bound book, its pages long dissolved by the sea, rested on a tilted table, a silent testament to the stories that would never be told. The ghosts of the Titanic, their forms as insubstantial as the sea foam, drifted through the corridors and staterooms, their whispers echoing through the emptiness. A mother, forever searching for her lost child, her cries muffled by the weight of the water. A musician, his violin still clutched in his skeletal hand, playing a mournful melody for an audience of shadows. The Titanic, once a symbol of human ambition and ingenuity, was now a part of the deep, her steel bones slowly succumbing to the relentless embrace of the sea. And as the years turned into decades, and the decades into centuries, the legend of the Titanic would endure, a haunting reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of the sea. The distressed rockets climbed into the stardusted blackness, desperate flares of light against the overwhelming darkness. Each burst was a scream for help, a message tapped out in Morse code and launched skyward, a plea for salvation, swallowed by the immensity of the sea and sky. Inside the cramped, wireless room of the Titanic, the two operators, Jack Phillips and Harold Bride, worked feverishly. Their fingers flew across the keys of the Marconi apparatus, sending out the ship's position, the SOS signal, again and again into the ether. The air crackled with the static, punctuated by the chillingly calm rhythm of the distress code. On other ships, miles away, some still blissfully unaware of the drama unfolding, the distress calls were met with a range of responses. Some dismissed them as pranks, the work of bored operators. Others, recognizing the seriousness of the situation, prepared to alter course, steaming towards the Titanic's reported location, their engines throbbing with a desperate hope. But time, as the icy Atlantic relentlessly demonstrated, was a luxury no one on the Titanic could afford. With each passing moment, the ship sank lower, the angle of the decks growing steeper, the cries of those still trapped within her steel embrace growing fainter. The distress signals, launched into the vast indifference of the night, were all that stood between the survivors, huddled in their lifeboats and oblivion. The RMS Carpathia, her name forever etched in the annals of maritime history, was a ship on a routine voyage, her passengers dreaming of distant shores. When the distress calls from the Titanic pierced the night, Captain Arthur Rostron, a man of unwavering resolve and deep compassion, didn't hesitate. He ordered his ship to change course immediately, setting a direct course for the Titanic's last known position. The Carpathia, a smaller and slower vessel than the Titanic, steamed into the night at her maximum speed, her engines straining against the icy waters, her crew driven by a sense of urgency and a glimmer of hope that they might yet arrive in time. As the Carpathia raced towards the disaster, Captain Rostron ordered his crew to prepare for the unimaginable. Blankets were gathered, hot drinks prepared, and medical supplies laid out. The Carpathia, a ship designed for comfort and leisure, was about to become a vessel of mercy, a beacon of hope in a sea of despair. The journey was agonizingly slow, each minute stretching into an eternity, as the crew and passengers of the Carpathia strained their ears for any sign of the Titanic, any indication that their efforts had not been in vain. The sea, however, remained a vast and silent expanse, its dark depths concealing the horror that had unfolded just hours before. As dawn broke, painting the sky with hues of pink and gold, a chilling silence descended upon the lifeboats. The cries of terror and the desperate pleas for help had faded into the night, replaced by the lapping of the waves against the wooden hulls and the mournful cries of gulls circling overhead. The survivors, huddled together for warmth, their faces pale with shock and exhaustion, stared out at the empty horizon, their hearts heavy with the knowledge that they were among the fortunate few. The vast expanse of the sea, once a symbol of adventure and possibility, was now a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the capricious nature of fate. In the lifeboats, the survivors confronted the enormity of their loss. Families torn apart, dreams shattered, futures extinguished beneath the waves. The silence, broken only by the sobs of those who had lost loved ones, spoke volumes of the grief and despair that filled their hearts. And as the hours passed, the Carpathia, a distant speck on the horizon, grew larger, her approach heralded by the sound of her steam whistle, a sound that brought tears of relief to the eyes of the weary survivors. The Carpathia, a vessel of mercy, had arrived to ferry them back to a world forever changed by the tragedy of the Titanic. News of the Titanic's sinking spread like wildfire, racing across telegraph wires and igniting headlines around the globe. The world, stunned into disbelief, struggled to comprehend the magnitude of the disaster, the unimaginable loss of life, the shattering of the illusion of unsinkability. In the days and weeks that followed, the stories of the survivors, those who had escaped the icy grip of the North Atlantic, began to emerge. Their tales, harrowing accounts of courage, sacrifice, and unbearable loss, captivated the public imagination, forever etching the tragedy of the Titanic into the collective memory of mankind. The world, hungry for answers, demanded to know how such a disaster could have occurred. Inquiries were launched, investigations conducted, and blame assigned. The Titanic, once a symbol of human ingenuity and ambition, became a cautionary tale about the perils of hubris, the limits of technology, and the unforgiving power of the sea. But beneath the headlines and the investigations, the whispers from the deep persisted. The voices of those lost to the waves, their stories untold, their dreams unfulfilled, continued to haunt the survivors and the world that mourned their passing. The Titanic, her wreckage resting on the ocean floor, a silent tomb for the dreams and aspirations of those who had sailed on her maiden voyage, had become a legend, a symbol of both the best and the worst of humanity. The sinking of the Titanic, a tragedy that unfolded over a century ago, continues to resonate with a haunting power, its lessons as relevant today as they were in the aftermath of that fateful night. The world, forever marked by the loss of so many lives, embarked on a journey of reflection and reform. The disaster led to significant changes in maritime regulations, including the establishment of the International Ice Patrol to monitor iceberg activity in the North Atlantic, and the requirement that ships carry enough lifeboats for all passengers and crew. The tragedy also highlighted the importance of communication in emergency situations, leading to improvements in wireless technology and the establishment of distress signals recognized worldwide. But the legacy of the Titanic extends far beyond the realm of maritime safety. The stories of the survivors, their acts of courage, selflessness, and love in the face of unimaginable loss continue to inspire and uplift generations. The tragedy serves as a reminder of the fragility of life, the importance of human connection, and the enduring power of the human spirit in the face of adversity. The Titanic, a symbol of both human ambition and human fallibility, continues to captivate the imagination. Her story, a poignant reminder that even in the face of tragedy, hope and humanity can endure. The whispers from the deep, the voices of those lost to the waves, serve as a timeless call for compassion, a reminder to cherish life and to live each day to the fullest. The ocean keeps its secrets. 2 miles below the surface, swallowed by darkness and pressure, lies the Titanic. No longer a palace of dreams, it's a tomb of rusted steel, a reef for creatures that never knew the sun. Fish dart through the shattered remnants of the grand staircase, their scales flashing like fallen stars. Anemones cling to the railings, where elegant hands once rested, so that the ship that was supposed to conquer the sea is now claimed by it. Barnacles cling to the metal. A slow, silent consumption. The stories, the laughter, the terror, all absorbed into the deep. Yet, the Titanic's legacy isn't just one of tragedy. It's a story etched into the very fabric of how we sail, how we communicate, how we confront the limits of our creations. The Titanic serves as a stark reminder that no ship, no matter how grand or technologically advanced, is truly unsinkable. The sea, for all its beauty and allure, is a force of nature that demands respect, a mistress who can be both benevolent and unforgiving. The lessons learned from the Titanic's sinking led to significant improvements in maritime safety, from the design of lifeboats to the implementation of international ice patrols. But the Titanic's legacy extends beyond the realm of regulations and technology. It's a story that continues to resonate with our collective consciousness, a tale of human ambition, fallibility, and resilience. Stories of those who perished and those who survived continue to inspire, to move, and to remind us of the preciousness of life and the enduring power of the human spirit. Even now, over a century later, the Titanic still whispers its mysteries. Debates rage on about the decisions made that fateful night. Could the iceberg have been spotted sooner? Did the ship's speed contribute to the disaster? Was there enough time to properly load the lifeboats? These questions linger, fueling countless books, documentaries, and fictional accounts. Each new piece of evidence recovered from the wreck site, each survivor's account, adds another layer to the complex narrative. We seek answers, not just to satisfy our curiosity, but perhaps to find a sliver of solace in the face of such immense loss. We yearn to understand the human element of the disaster, the choices made in the face of unimaginable pressure, the acts of courage and sacrifice that illuminated the darkness. The Titanic story, however, refuses to offer easy answers. It remains a tapestry woven from countless individual experiences, a mosaic of courage, fear, love, and loss. The unanswered questions serve as a reminder that some mysteries may never be fully solved. The sea, like time, has a way of obscuring the truth, leaving us with fragments, whispers, and the enduring power of speculation. And perhaps that is as it should be. The Titanic story isn't just about finding definitive answers. It's about grappling with the vastness of the unknown acknowledging the limits of human understanding and mind, and finding meaning in the face of tragedy. It's about remembering those who perished, honoring their memory by learning from the past, and striving to create a safer and more compassionate world. The Titanic, though lost to the depths, still sails on. Not on the waves, but in our collective memory. It's a story that transcends generations. We see its echo in every ship that sets sail, in the safety regulations that govern their journeys, in the lifeboats that line their decks. The Titanic's legacy extends beyond the maritime world. It's a story that reminds us of the power of technology and the importance of wielding it responsibly. It speaks to the fragility of life, the importance of human connection, and the enduring power of hope in the face of adversity. The Titanic story continues to resonate in art, literature, and film. It's a tale that has been told and retold, each generation finding new meaning in its depths. The sinking of the Titanic wasn't just a maritime disaster, it was a cultural touchstone, an event that shook the world and continues to shape our understanding of ourselves and our place in the grand tapestry of history. As we look to the future, the lessons of the Titanic serve as a guiding light. They remind us to approach the unknown with both ambition and humility, to temper our technological prowess with wisdom and compassion. They urge us to cherish our loved ones, to live each day to the fullest, and to never forget the fragility of life and the enduring power of the human spirit. The Titanic, though lost to the sea, continues to sail on. Its story, a timeless beacon, guiding us through the darkness and reminding us that even in the face of tragedy, hope and humanity can endure.